Basically, there was never a condition we existed in where we were slaves inherently. We were enslaved at different points in history. Different people were enslaved, but that doesn't speak to like their inherent value or their caste is like a permanent space.
That was important. That was big shit. When Black people was enslaved, when we was enslaved, we were taking the scraps and making some shit shake with it.
Yeah.
And that's how we got soul food. But now we have access, thankfully, of more of us, not all of us, because food access is a whole different rabbit hole. We may go down. I love you, but be the fuck for real. Social media has turned community gardening, DIY into a trend, but it was started by Black and brown people. We've been doing this shit. It's not a lifestyle. It's not a trend. It's not a social media caption. This is just our life from the beginning of time. Today, I have a very special guest, Samira. She is embodying with her whole outfit. Like, we have the waist beads.
Me too.
The septum piercing. The loyal house. Like, the linen. She just embraces what we're talking about today. She's been in the urban farming community gardening space for about 2.5 years. She's very passionate about holistic wellness, and it's something that she's always been proud of doing. She used to work in a yoga studio and a wellness center. She volunteers with a nonprofit that leads mental health support groups and is big on Black women and men thriving, not just surviving. Okay. I feel like it's not going to be like the dings, like ding, ding, ding. Like yours is going to be like some chimes that we use. And we're like, chime, 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 birds. Here's Samira. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Good, good. Okay. I want to start with urban farming and us getting our... It's kind of giving 40 acres and a mule. I feel like we're with this. Like, what the fuck? Don't we have our 40 acres that... Did they ever give us that shit? Do you know? Did they ever give us... Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. See, but we were supposed to then have our land. So we're obviously not going to get the 40 acres. We're not going to get reparations. That's long gone and dead. But what does reclaiming land and wellness actually look like for Black and brown people in urban spaces, especially when a lot of the ground soil and stuff is toxic, contaminated, unusable at this point?
Yeah, you brought up a really good point about like the just health of our soil in a lot of urban areas. So first off, it starts with justice. A lot of our neighborhoods need like soil remediation, and so that requires like grassroots efforts. There are organizations that go into these neighborhoods and they will go about teaching people how to test for contaminants, how to plant certain things that can pull toxins out, and just do things that can make the soil like basically fallow, which means it's like ripe to be like planted in. But you can eschew that. You can avoid even having to deal with that and plant in raised beds. So just like 2 weeks ago, I got my own plot in Northwoods Community Farm, West in North Philly, and it's a raised bed. So that's something where we grow above the ground, so you don't have to really worry about the quality of the soil in the ground because you use soil from like elsewhere.
That is so cool. Wait, so do you use soil from, because I have been going to this farmer's market in Chicago every week, and these people were advertising there about composting, and they were like, you can have us come pick up your compost and then we'll give it back to you as like fertilized soil or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of soil you use? Maybe not composting, but just like somebody gives you.
Basically like enriched. So a lot of the soil, I know I was at a community gardening day at this particular community garden that I volunteer at, and the Philadelphia Horticultural Society donated soil that had been like enriched, and they brought us like mulch and all sorts of things that basically are enriched and ready to feed your crops or whatever it is that you want to plant.
Oh my gosh, Neil, look at me learning stuff. The only thing I didn't like was that they make you pay for them to come.
Yeah. There's a company like that in Philly too. I was interested, but the price tag was a little bit.
Right. They was talking about Congi, you pay this. And I'm like, for me to give you my scratch, now, of course, I'm into the whole soil and I hate food waste. Like, it's a pet peeve of mine.
If you have a little corner, if you happen to have like a backyard, toss it there, make sure to do its work. Or something I was trying to get around the fact that you have to like pay for these services to come and pick up your compost, and it can be sort of pricey as opposed to like standard waste management where they'll pick up your recycling and trash for free. So I went and looked into Mom's Organic Market because they have a compost bin, and I asked the manager, if I bring in my like food waste, will you take it? And he said, yeah, it's fine. So I sometimes, if I have done a lot of juicing or recently cooked and I have a lot of scraps that like hurt my heart to put on the trash, I'll take it straight to I'll take it straight to Mom's Market in a container, dump it in their compost bin. And it's not a problem. You could probably ask the manager at your local grocery, Mom's, if you have one, or somewhere else, if that's fine.
Oh my, girl, you done changed my life, because I was like, like, I'm sitting here doing podcasting for a living. I do not have the money to be paying y'all to compost my stuff. I'm so sorry, but I care. So and I was going to go to a whole rabbit hole ChatGPT, like, well, how do you actually turn the compost into soil and all that?
But I need worms, and it's something I'm also sort of embarrassed. I haven't really like learned the nitty gritty about, but oftentimes it needs worms. It's not just like straight up.
In the way that we're in society right now, we don't have the time to do that. And that gets into a point that I wanted to discuss on this stuff of farming, gardening, holistic living is not a new trend. It's more so that in communities that are underdeveloped, not even just communities of color, but rural communities, there's not the access or the time in the day to do these things. So how do you balance the fact of, okay, you have to work to pay your bills. You can't garden all day, every day, and make compost and get worms, but you also care about the environment. You care about your body enough to want to put the right things in it. Like, how do you balance that? How do you make the time without having to be married to a millionaire and buy a farm?
Yeah, there are community gardens, as I've mentioned a couple times, and I feel like that's a really good way to like enter and just create a relationship with the land, and also create a relationship with other people in your community, and be able to work the land without the daunting aspect or undertaking of trying to start a huge garden or buy a farm or inherit it from, the layer if you pass the lay or something. So basically, if you're at a community garden, like something that's really cool that I'm doing right now is I'm growing the same crops as the person in the pot that's right behind me. So like we're learning from each other. I was not, last time I visited, it had been a couple of days, and I noticed that they put like spokes, or like they put something like a support for my bell peppers and my eggplants, so as they grow up, like they have like something to hold on to. And that was just like out of the goodness of their heart, since they had like extra supplies. So if you get into a community garden, I can't advocate for that enough. You'll stop by a couple times a week if you're able. Ask the person who runs the local one that I visit most often, like, is 2 times a week good? He said, yeah, at minimum 2 times a week is fair. So like a weekend day, some other day when you have time to drop by, water your plot, see how things are doing, and just like get in the soil. Like your body learns from the soil and get close to the nature like that. So yeah, I would say that's like the first way that people can start with, or what I would recommend most. But you can also start in like containers. You can have like just a small container on your windowsill, grow some like fresh herbs, grow a succulent. There are lots of things that you can do so that it's not like, daunting.
See, for me, I've gone to volunteer at community gardens or like Black-owned farms, and that works the best because I can't keep nothing alive. I have a succulent that is dying at my house right now, currently.
As well. I'm in that club as well. I've unfortunately killed a succulent before, but you can try again.
I probably won't. But it's because I've killed more than one succulent. It's been a couple, maybe even 3. And I'm like, okay, I need to let go.
But it might not be it might not be you. It could be the part of your house where you have them sitting. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like the environment. Sometimes it's like sun exposure. You know what I mean? It isn't necessarily the care that you're giving. I feel like there are other things that you can sort of address and try and like point, just figure out, pinpoint what it is that is going wrong, or try a different crop. You know.
What would you say is if you were to give somebody who lives in an apartment one plant to start with, a starter plant to build their confidence, what would you say?
There's this one plant, I can't think of the name, like the leaves hang down, and it's supposed to be really good for air purifying.
I know what you're talking about. Isn't that spider?
Yeah, when you said spider, I was like,
and they did that NASA test on it, and it was like, oh.
I'm pretty sure I wanted to say spider, but I like.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, not me knowing stuff about the plants and shit. Okay.
Yeah. Popular houseplant known for resilience and ease of care.
And say spider?
Yes, it is spider plant. I thought that in my head. I was like, there's no way. But yeah.
Okay. See, all right, I'm about to take this interview over this side. Okay, so spider plant, y'all. But they said, so the NASA study said that it can help purify certain molds and stuff out your apartment, but then the people came back with a counter and they said it can do that, but the amount of the plant that you would need would be a lot.
Yeah.
To actually purify, because the NASA had controlled environment or whatever. I don't know science, like, so
I mean, that makes sense.
I'm gonna be done talking about science for that part, because I can't really do that. That just made me nervous. Okay, so
you offered really good input, though. I think that's valuable for folks to know. Plus, if you don't actually have mold in your place, like, it doesn't hurt to have something that can reduce whatever a low threshold of whatever could be in here.
See, that's a good. Maybe I'm gonna get I'm gonna get a spider plant, because when I did the research and then I saw that in the NASA and then the contradictions and all that, I was like, oh well, if I had to have so many of them, I'm gonna get it. But now that you said it's a good starter plant, and it's like I finally have mold in my place, because I live in a high rise. If I have mold, somebody's getting sued. Okay, like I'm gonna say I have brain damage. Like, so I don't have mold in my apartment. It's safe to say I don't have mold. So that would be good to just reduce overall. What I'm gonna post when I get the plant, like, oh, what should we name? Do you name your plants?
I do.
What should I name my plant? It's gonna be the spider.
Spider.
That's gonna be the spider plant. So, like, just think about that. They only come in one color, right?
Yeah. So as far as I know,
she's gonna look like that. It's a she. See, I've already gave her Charlotte. Ooh, like Charlotte's Web. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna post for the people after this episode how you inspired me to get Miss Charlotte. What's her nickname gonna be? Miss
Char.
It's
funky.
Yeah, I have a cousin named Charlotte, but it's with an S. And I call her Char. Oh my God, that's cute.
You heard it here first.
Okay, you heard it here first. I have a plant, and I'm gonna keep it alive, and her name is Miss Charlotte.
Right on.
Okay. So I've recently been circling back to the concept of how soul food, as we know it today, like fried foods, yams, all that type of stuff, is just scraps that when Black people were slaves, what do you call it?
We're enslaved.
We're
slaves. We're enslaved.
Period. Say it again. I've never heard somebody say it like that, which is that. Say, look at the camera and say.
Yeah, I had a professor that would correct us on this. I never forgot it. So basically, there was never a condition we existed in where we were slaves inherently. We were enslaved at different points in history. Different people were enslaved, but that doesn't speak to like their inherent value or their caste is like a permanent space. So yeah, always.
That was important. That was big. Shit. Where did you go to school?
Oh, I don't like this one. I'm not gonna plug them.
Oh, fuck them. Fuck that school. But the professor, they did with that. It was a boy or a girl.
Oh, it was a boy.
That bitch did what she was supposed to. Period. Because that was a word. But so when when Black people was enslaved, when we was enslaved, we were taking the scraps and making some shit shake with it.
Yeah.
And that's how we got soul food. But now we have access, thankfully, of more of us, not all of us, because food access is a whole different rabbit hole. We may go down. But like now that more of us have access, how do you think, has your definition of soul food changed for you? And do you think eventually there will be a shift in what the culture says is soul food? Because we're not just digging for scraps.
I think that though at some point that like enslaved people were given scraps and things like that, they also did have crops like beans and things, right? Like no matter what you make out of it is going to be pretty nutritious, right? I feel sometimes it was just that you had small rations, unfortunately. I think to this day that we do have the indulgent, like really maybe like fat rich, like cheesy mac and cheese, or like things that are very sugary, like I don't know, you make something like a sweet potato, yeah, like stuff like that. Like those exist, but if you think about like the main vegetables that are being featured, there are lots of different ways that you can prepare them so that they are satisfying that nostalgia of what grandma made, but then they're not like as harmful. They're not as indulgent. Inflammatory. That's a perfect word. Yeah, they're not as inflammatory.
See, I'm good with the food. I had to switch it to food from the science. Yeah, inflammatory.
And there are actually like a lot of people that have cookbooks out there, like vegan cookbooks that are soul food. Like I have one at home. It's called like Afro Vegan, and it takes like it's like a tour of Americans soul food, Caribbean like mainstays of food, African dishes, but they're all made vegan. And I think when I look at the recipes, they're all pretty mindful of like, you know, just good proportions of fats to fiber and, you know, things that are good for you, basically. So, yeah, I think you can find a way to adapt the things that you like and still have them be nutritious.
You're going to have to send me some of those recipes because I am a person where you're vegan, right?
I was for a few years.
Vegetarian.
No,
you just eat whatever you want.
Yeah, but I'm actually just recently, like probably less than a week ago, I was like, I feel very called to like be plant-based again, so might do that again. But I transitioned for a while. I was pescatarian for 5 years before I was vegan.
Okay, so I have been vegetarian before. I'm pescatarian right now, but I don't. In my home, I don't eat dairy. I go to a restaurant. I would have, like, I'm sure they're cooking the stuff with butter. Like, I'm not asking, is this vegan? But people used to say to me, oh, you just eat rabbit food. You just eat rabbit food.
Definitely heard that.
And I'm like, no, I do not eat rabbit food. I be eating good shit. Like, I cook the shit out some fucking vegetables. That should be good. And if you want to have a little creamy thing like a curry,
cashew,
or a curry like coconut milk, and put your fucking seasonings in it, that shit going to taste better than the meat that you fucking slab some garlic, salt, and pepper. I promise you, it's going to taste better. You just got to put your pussy in it. But if you do that, it's going to come out good. It don't matter if it's vegan or not. You just have to know. I feel like the thing with people is they don't be knowing how to cook.
Yeah. It like not everybody knows like the power of a good marinade. Like a nice, like let it sit for a while and like soak it up. Yeah. I think no matter, I mean, if you eat like just meat straight from a butcher or straight from like a market and you throw it on the grill and you haven't put any like care into seasoning, it's not going to taste very good. So same with like vegetables, just like the meat, whatever it is that you like care for, it's sort of a blank slate until you add that like seasoning. So.
Exactly. I agree with that. And you have to know like what seasonings bring out what of a dish too. You can't, I don't know. I could go down the whole thing because people really always say that, oh, you eat rabbit food, you don't eat real food. It's like my food will fuck your food up. It's just better because I actually know how to cook. Now, not to say that everybody who eat meat don't know how to cook because they do, but I think people are so one-track minded that they don't think about how they could apply that to non-meats. Like, be creative. Think outside the box. You can really make some shit shake. That's what we've been doing. If you're a person of color, it don't matter, like, if you're black or brown, like, your people have probably been enslaved or fucking dominated. What's the thing? Like, colonized. Yep, the big words. Your people have been colonized at some point or another. So you have had to learn how to make some shit shake. You can apply that to different sets of foods. It don't gotta just apply to what you had, like what traditionally it was. Just apply that same thing to the other stuff. Yeah. Okay. Now, I have been with food access. I have been passionate about it for a few years. When I was in business school, I had to write a paper about anything that you're passionate about. And I chose to do it on community gardening and food. And I had this romanticized idea that, you know how in Philly there's just those plots of land that like nobody mows the land. It's like next to like abandoned lots and stuff. Can those be like, because I know you can't use the soil necessarily, but you could do the raised bed thing on top of those, right?
You definitely can. And there are lots of people who have. Yeah, people do reclaim lots in the city. I know I have like 3 friends who have done that.
So, yeah. How much that be costing?
That one I do not know.
I'm like, wait, I want to do that.
Yeah. I feel like oftentimes it involves more paperwork than it does like fun.
It is paperwork. Yeah. Because when I went to community garden in Chicago, he was saying like it's so much red tape around. It is not necessarily a money thing. And I'm sure it's similar here. Like it's not necessarily a money thing, but it's like you have to jump through this hoop and then this person, and this person, and this person. It's like, no, I'm just trying to get this land's not being used anyway.
Yeah.
But if you're a person who like has tenacity and is going to like just be persistent, then you'll eventually probably get it. And I don't recommend this because I don't think I'm allowed to recommend this, but you could just start using the land.
Yes, guerrilla gardening is what it would be like if you just start using it. Sometimes people start that way.
Wait, what's the way?
Guerrilla gardening, like when you sort of just like grab a piece of like land and just start using it. Yeah, so it's like technically not legal, but yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
But there are people who start this way where they will take the lot before they have like the city clearance or sanctioning, and then sometimes that's like part of their case. We have been using this. The community is like utilizing this space. People are being fed, and so are you gonna take this from us now? Like that's not, that undermines like community desires basically.
Yeah. Okay. I knew that people do it, but I didn't know there was a whole phrase around it. But just to be clear, I didn't technically recommend it. I was just providing information on things that are happening in my local community. So that kind of piece that you mentioned about taking care of a community and people are thriving leads me into your interest in holistic health and yoga. How do you marry these things together? I guess that's the definition of holistic wellness. It's not just what you eat, but it's also how you move your body, how you process emotions, what you consume. And consumption is very broad. Very broad. Yeah. So how do you bring those things to communities that normally wouldn't have it? Because a lot of people calling me, they're like, oh, you're such a hippie. And I'm like, me? I'm not. I'm very much not a hippie, but it's just because I care about fucking vegetables and I do yoga. Now I'm a hippie and I'm like, how do you get people of color to do these things that really actually belong to them in the first place?
Yeah. I feel like that was the best phrase of the whole question, that really belonged to them in the first place. It reminds me of a book that I read. I wish I remembered the title, but it's a book by Jessamine Stanley, and she recounts how she got into yoga, and she talks about how it might seem like there's this big barrier because yoga studios often are cost prohibitive, and even when you look at the merch, it's super expensive, and they rely on models where you have to pay exorbitant fees. But she's like, I have a body. I have towels. I have like different things that I can use to like make a yoga practice. And she just started on YouTube. And I feel like that's how I started my practice too. So before I bought like any sort of cork like board and like any like a cute mat that I really like, I just would like put out a towel, you know what I mean? Like a reach towel and like put on YouTube and just follow a routine. So that's really accessible. And when it comes to like what you're cooking, just cook food that looks like that starts off as ingredients that doesn't have an ingredients label but starts up as ingredients. So basically cook food from scratch like when you can, and try and make it like a communal activity when you eat with others. That's really good for your like blood pressure, and it's good for your heart. And I remember reading something about like why people in like Mediterranean areas really thrive when they drink more like wine, and they often eat things that like your doctor might not recommend that might not be good for their cholesterol. And they said that something that's a mainstay there and a lot of blue zones where people like live and thrive for a long time is that they don't often eat alone. So if you can, like eating with others.
Or like just in front of a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're eating with purpose to share community and intention. I'm very big on that, and that's why I like cooking so much. And I think I almost like kind of got it from my grandmom, is like she was not a very outwardly lovey-dovey person. She was always present though, but she would be cooking, and she would have people, like she would have our family over for dinner, and that was her way of building the community. It wasn't like the hand holding, like, oh, I just think you're so beautiful and special. But it was the presence of having a food and sharing it in that way that made an impact on my life and who I am as a person. So I try to bring that. That's also how I express love and care, is through the food that I cook for people. And I don't think it's an underrated thing. People don't really talk about it.
Yeah, skill and asset to the community. I actually DM'd someone yesterday telling them to make their Instagram story, a post, because they were lamenting the fact that they were going around. It was Memorial Day. They're like, where are the cookouts? Where are the people gathering? They're like, you guys, like, you guys got degrees, you got their houses, and you're not doing the work of like having the cookouts. This is like needed in the community. And so, yeah, like that is really necessary, right? That gathering, that bringing of people together. They're like, what are you doing this for if you're not having the cookouts?
Right. Yeah. Y'all not doing the cookouts no more. I was trying to get Guerilla to cook out for me yesterday, and I was begging him for weeks. He knew I was coming. And now I feel like this is going to be a way that I can make him feel more guilty, because now it's science behind it and stuff like that. Yeah. Because I just wanted to build community. Yeah. That's what I wanted. I just wanted to lower my blood pressure. Mm-hmm. I had a long travel over here. I got a badass dog at home, and I wanted to lower my blood pressure.
Just needed.
Through community. That cookout is more than a cookout. It's more than the plate. It's the fact that you're showing me that you love me through flipping my veg burger and put it on that plate and handing it to me with a smile on your face.
It's love.
That's what it was. And I'm so glad. But I agree. It's underrated. People don't talk about it. We're not doing the cookouts no more. I didn't get no plate yesterday. No plate. Nobody gave me no type of plate yesterday. And that's why our community is like, as we've been moving up, because I think about this, the reason I asked the question with the wellness and yoga and stuff is the piece you mentioned about memberships. It's not accessible. And I think about the fact that I'm privileged enough to still have access to these things and go to my little overpriced yoga class that's in infrared heat and has all the amenities, and I just show up and I don't have to think about anything. That's a privilege that I don't take lightly. However, the whole point for me of getting into this stuff is because, one, it was ours to begin with, and two, it should be accessible to everyone. So yes, I'm allowed to have my privilege because I have my privilege. It is what it is. But how can I bring that to other people? Because it shouldn't be a luxury to take a yoga class. It shouldn't be a luxury to move your body. moving your body, stretching, whatever you want to call it, what yoga is, literally releases pent up trauma, pent up emotions, anger. Even if you don't have trauma with a big T, as I like to say, you still have things that you're working through from your life that have happened to you. You don't gotta have like big T, my dad killed my mom. You don't gotta have, because I'm reading this book right now and it's written by a white man, and that's how he makes characters seem relatable, is like these big T traumas. And it's like, this is fucking played out if you're in a land. But anyway, that's a rant. But I got ADHD.
Same.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so much less chaotic.
Inattentive type. I don't know if you're the, what is it?
I got the inattentive type too. Was you diagnosed as an adult or as a child?
18.
Okay. So I just got diagnosed like 2 years ago. So that's, maybe you had a little bit more time to sit with it.
Maybe. I feel like sometimes chaos between the ears isn't always like outwardly perceptible.
I agree. Because sometimes I'm super quiet.
Yeah.
I'm not right now because obviously I'm working. But sometimes, like, if we was just all together and y'all was talking about something that I was really kind of processing what y'all was saying, I was going to really say that much.
Yeah, you look loose, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah, or like, honestly, like a group of 4 people, I'm cool. But a group of 6 people, I'm kind of just...
Overstimulated?
Yeah, overstimulated, like, kind of like, okay, so like, I'm just processing everybody, like who everybody is and where everybody brings to the table. And people be thinking I'm quiet. And you obviously can tell I'm not quiet. Like, I think somebody who don't know me, if they watch the podcast, they're going to be like, this girl is loud. She always talks. She blah, 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 blah. And if they met me in real life and didn't tell me, like, oh, I saw you in your podcast, they'd be like, this is not the same girl. Because, yeah, I don't know. I normally can clock it. I'm like the ADHD clocker. I am. I be knowing. I be telling our friend that starts with an L, she got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she got it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Okay. I want to bring it back to the point you asked about, like, the accessibility of yoga classes and things.
See, you don't gotta ask that because you was like, okay, that's what we talking about.
I'm on my job right now.
Period.
Trying to be a valuable guest.
No, you've already created value just by creating community, by us creating community. That's already valuable in itself. And anybody who's listening, they're gonna feel the community. So you've already been valuable. But the accessibility of yoga.
Yes.
It shouldn't just be me who gets to do it because I can go to this exclusive studio. That's what we're saying. Okay, so what was your piece that you wanted to add?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, I have the good fortune of being able to, like, I have a classic Y membership, so thankfully the Y has yoga classes as well. So look into that. But also there are often people in the community that are offering classes in open spaces, especially when the weather is nice, like in the spring, summer. And I know that if you look up on like Eventbrite or Meetup.com, you'll often find instructors that are like doing yoga in really unique places, and they'll be like free, sometimes pay what you wish. And so, like, it might take a little bit more work to find those, but find a few, like, dedicate some time, maybe a 1 weekend, find a couple, put them on your calendar, and check them out as you are available. Or if you're feeling, I don't know, I want to not necessarily bold, but open to, like, spontaneous connection. If you feel comfortable enough in your yoga practice that, like, you follow along with a YouTube video, but you can do it in like a public space, like, or on your phone. You do it like in a park, maybe people will join you. And then you'll have like some organic community beyond that.
Yes, because I have someone I did yoga teacher training with. She is part of a community in Chicago that's not like the downtown, that's real Chicago Black community. That is Chicago, for anyone who doesn't know, is a very segregated city in itself. I think it's like this everywhere in the country, but in Chicago, it's very staunch, the access that you have based on the neighborhood that you're in. And the neighborhoods that are not having access to certain stuff are far. And they make it, even with the public transportation, hard to get to. Like, you can't get to it if you don't have a car, or get downtown if you don't have a car. Very intentionally redlined. And she did yoga teacher training with me. And she would go to parks, like sometimes just to do, like practice her yoga, and wasn't even intentionally trying to build community. That's just where she could do it because there's not a yoga studio near her. And to get to the closest yoga class was a 30-minute drive. So sometimes she would go in parks and people would come up to her in her community and be like, oh, would you be willing to show me some of what you're doing, or ask her questions? And she met people through going to her park and fucking around and doing yoga moves.
Yeah.
Just because that's what she wanted to do to release her body and whatever. So there's always a way. It doesn't have to be a grand. I think we've made it look commercialized to the point where if I want to work out or I want to do yoga, I have to have a Lululemon.
Yeah.
Aesthetic. And now Lululemon, they stuff do be making your booty sit right. I'm not saying they stuff don't be doing what it do, but you don't have to spend $200 on the Lululemon. And also with the China tariffs and stuff, they selling the Lululemons without the tag, without the label on it for $20 the sets. You just got to get somebody to get you the linky links because they not supposed to be doing it. So once you get the linkies, you gonna be set. So you could get Lulu for $20, just know. But anyway, you don't have to spend that money.
Yeah. I also think Old Navy is really nice workout gear.
Old Navy is a Gap. I don't know about their workout gear, but I'm saying as places in general, they be having some stuff.
Personally, my most nice, well, not my most nice, but I have a pair of leggings that you probably would not be able to tell how old they were, but they look like super new when they were purchased at Old Navy, just like as a random pickup, and the longevity is there.
Yeah, I haven't been to Old Navy in forever, but every time I'm talking with someone and I'm like, it's kind of like a basics. Like, you know how you have like the capsule stuff where it's like, oh, it's basics. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, I like your jeans or pants or whatever, like something basic. They're like, oh, it's Old Navy. Every time. I'm like, I need to get there, and then I don't get there, but I'll get there now that you said it. You're going to be the one that brings it in. But yeah, you don't have to have like expensive things or a membership to participate in things that will heal your body. It's more than an aesthetic. It's more than the outfit that you're wearing or doing. Don't do the shit because it's trendy. Do it because there are real health benefits of moving your body, movement in general. Because we store things in our body, our poor little hips. If you do yoga, you know, pigeon pose. Mm-hmm. Like, I haven't, but some people cry when they do it because so many emotions is stored in your hips. Like, I've been in a class where someone would cry in pigeon pose, like out of nowhere, like they was cool the whole class.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen it, but I've heard.
It's a crazy thing.
Yeah, I've had yoga where like I was moved. And, like, maybe not to tears, but I gave the moment just because, like, overall, I was having an overwhelming day, but didn't really have a, click where, like, a pose really.
I've never had that either. I don't think that's how I process emotions, per se. Now, I cry, but yoga is like a moving meditation for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's not, it doesn't bring that out for me, but some people, you turn that hip the one way, it's over with. Like, damn, new person when they meet that fucking man. Yeah. So I think you should bring that to everybody.
Yeah. Can we also mention, because you actually did yoga teacher training. I did not do some teacher training. I just worked at a studio and wellness center. But how, like, in yoga, the poses are only like, is it like 1/3 of practice? Because the poses are called asanas, right?
Asanas.
Yeah. But, like, yoga itself is about, like, your inner work and your mindset.
And your breathing.
Yeah, your breathing.
And how you perceive what's going on in your body.
Exactly. All of that is integral to, like, a full understanding and holistic, like, embrace of what yoga is. So the movements are, like, the third and almost last aspect of it.
Yes. Yeah. It's not really the important piece of it. Now, of course, if you're trying to do something where you could fucking hurt yourself, let's get the posture right. Don't hurt your back now. But if you're just trying to do a warrior too, you're not going to hurt yourself in that. And you don't do it the proper way, the more important piece is how did you breathe through the sensations that you're feeling in your body, and not just how did you breathe them. Did you notice the sensations? Were you able to pinpoint where in your body the sensation was coming from? Were you able to then notice the sensation and identify if it was intensity versus, oh, this is hurting me and I need to change my body? Then once you got through that and you identified like, oh, it's just intensity, were you able to breathe through the intensity?
Yeah.
And then slowly move into the next pose. So it's so much more than trying to get a specific pose. And of course, like, you know, everybody wants to show the flexible poses, and I do that too because I'm flexible. But when I actually go to the mat, it's so much more. It's really not about the pose at all, to be honest. It's just about what I'm opening and receiving and grounding in that moment.
You're supposed to carry that like throughout the rest of the day. This is what you're talking about, like feeling, acknowledging, and releasing. It's how you should like, you know, how you should be as you experience like the presence of your life.
Exactly. And it impacts, like, for me, everyone is different in how they process yoga, but the way my brain works is I do a class, and at the end, in that final shavasana, the corpse pose, when you're on the ground, everything I'm supposed to like process through, or things I've been pondering, just kind of comes to me. Like, oh, well, you have this conversation with this person, make sure you say this point. Like, you know, the fights you're going to have and stuff, and you want to make sure you get all your points out. That'd be the time I come up with them damn points. So if you about to argue with me, don't let me go to no yoga class, because my post will be great.
Clarity.
The clarity, yeah, like the clarity hits. You'll be knowing the like nice phrases for the stuff. Yeah, so the clarity, that it hits in that moment, because I've moved through it the whole entire class. So it's
We're in the base and like really good stuff.
yeah. Oh, we should do yoga.
I would love to.
Yeah, we gonna schedule a yoga date.
Nice.
I feel like they would be cute. I'll be going. I teach community yoga classes because I teach yoga for a nonprofit. But I haven't actually gone to one myself. But I think that's more so I like routine.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to get into it. So
yeah, because it's like pop-ups at different places.
Exactly. And I like routine. And then do you do Pilates? Are you trained?
No, I've done like mat Pilates, which I would say is like sort of yoga, but without sort of like the, I guess, spiritual aspect. But the names are much more
Direct.
Yeah, gray. Like I would say sort of gray and clinical, as opposed to, you know, shavasana and like the deep phrases that we're used to with regular yoga. I think Pilates is really cool. I think that there's also like mat Pilates, there's reformer Pilates. I've observed a reformer Pilates class. I haven't participated yet.
I like those.
Yeah.
Because they kind of cool, because I like the aspect of you're moving more versus, because when I do yoga, I do vinyasa yoga. And for anybody who doesn't know, vinyasa yoga is like breath to movement. So you're not sitting in a movement for long, like in a pose for long. Like you're moving the whole way. Because I like to keep your movement, energy flowing. So with mat Pilates, it kind of feels a little bit more stagnant for me.
Yeah.
So I like the reformer Pilates because you get to still like kind of be more in movement.
Yeah.
Flow.
But I think Pilates is really cool. And I know a couple people that do Pilates and they have super strong cores. I definitely want to get into it, but I feel like I'm more focused on like making sure my yoga is like a regular thing, which I sometimes ebb and flow with. So
such as life, though. Such as life. Do you, with yoga, how does that tie to mental health for you? Because to me, it's almost one and the same. Of yoga is spiritual, but your spiritual impacts your mental,
for sure,
and how you can process. And also, before you answer the question, one other thing I noticed with the yoga is the more I got better at yoga, the better I got at breathing, and the better you get at breathing, the better your mental health is. Okay. So sorry, JK. It's a question.
That's a great question. And I agree with your last point for sure. Like breath is something you can have throughout the whole day, and you have the capacity to make it like therapeutic if you're intentional and you're mindful about how it is that you breathe. It's so funny because I remember bringing this up. This is like a sort of I don't know, like a side step, but I'll come back to playing about yoga. I remember a friend once telling me how I was like long-winded, and that is true. Sometimes I can give like really long answers. So I was like, how odd is it that we've made it like almost like a little bit like sometimes a disparaging thing for someone to like go on for a while and be long-winded when like taking long breaths is indicative of a body at rest. You know, and when you're at ease, that's when you take a long like breath. But yeah, that's good for you. Like taking a long breath and yeah, like it activates your sympathetic nervous system, right? Rest and digest. I think parasympathetic is when you're like,
yeah. I always get it confused. It's like para versus sympathetic, like which one is which. The one that
check ourselves before this crisis.
Because I'm like, one is the calming.
Yeah, the other is fight or flight.
Fight, flight, or freeze. I was gonna say people forget about that freeze shit. Cause that'll get you in the chokehold.
I learned this is like probably within the past 4 years that there's a fourth one.
What is it?
Fawn.
What the fuck does that mean?
Okay, I was wrong. It's sympathetic is fight or flight, so parasympathetic would be rest and digest.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, a fawn, it's like to cower and to like be immediately like in a state of like, you know, how do you placate or like serve to like get the stressor away?
So fight is like I'm gonna beat your ass. Flight is I'm gonna run from your ass. Freeze is I just freeze.
Mm-hmm.
And you punching me and I ain't doing shit. And then fawn is I'm strategizing about how
to appease the threat. Yeah.
Oh, so you say you want to fuck me up, and I'm like, but no, I'm pretty.
Possibly, or like, or what you can do for the person who is the threat. So like, I can something for you, like, you know.
I think I would do that when that fun is real.
Yeah.
Because if this is so bad, but I'm just going to tell the truth because I tell the truth on this bitch. So I've always thought if like a dude kidnapped me or
just pretend you're in love or something.
Yeah, like I would pretend I was in love or like try to appease him. Like if he was like, "Oh, I want you to have my baby," I'll be like, "Yeah." Like I would really try to appease or figure out like why are you kidnapping? Like, there's something that happened to you at some point.
You didn't deserve it.
Yeah, there's something that happened to you at some point in this life. I know it did. What happened? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Let's not talk about me right now. I'm already in a situation. You already got me. I'm fucked up. Like, wait, let's talk about you. Why? How did you, Mr. Stern, get into a position where you taking this random little bitch off the street and taking her away from her family and her dog? How do we? I just want to know how we got here. That fun is real.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna. What am I going to do if a dude try to like? I can fight, right? But it's not going to do nothing.
It's a man.
It's a man. So, and I can't get him caught me. I can't run. Like sometimes fight and flight are not available options. Mm-hmm. You have to fawn. It's to survive. I like that they added that. Too.
It's real.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you kidnap, fight, flight, or freeze. That's not enough options. Yeah. You're gonna do once you're already taken away. Like you could freeze, but not everybody freezing.
Yeah,
I'm not folding. I'm gonna try to get this shit done.
Yeah.
It was this. Did you watch Netflix documentaries?
Yeah.
Did you see the one where the girl got kidnapped by the guy, but then he let her go. But they thought the bitch was lying.
Oh no.
At first. Wait, okay, which one do you think?
I'm thinking about the one where it was a reenactment, like it was Anna Kendrick was in it, and I forgot who the killer was, but he had like kidnapped and killed a whole bunch of people. And there was this one person that he kidnapped, and he did let her go. And there was somebody else who like fawned over him. They're like, oh, like he tried to choke her and he wasn't successful in killing her. I guess she passed out. And then she was like, oh, I guess you got a little carried away there. You should like, go somewhere
That's not
else.
the same what I'm talking about, but it's the same concept. It was this one girl, and it's a real drawing. She had got kidnapped, and he made it seem like her boyfriend was there and all that, and he did it in front of the boyfriend, then drugged the boyfriend so he wouldn't remember nothing. And she was he made them like do sexual acts with them and stuff like that. But then he would be like, "Oh, you know what? You don't deserve this. I'm gonna let you go." And he brought her back to her block and all that.
Oh yes, actually I did see that.
Right?
And then nobody believed.
And they thought the boyfriend was lying.
Yeah, he killed her. Yeah.
And then they thought when she came back, they thought she was lying.
Yeah. I
Uh-huh.
do remember this.
And it's like that's the foreign thing.
Yeah.
Like you can't. Some people freeze and they eat Dungeons. Like he gonna kill you because you ain't you get some type of play. Like you supposed to get a nigga open the place, see if it gets you somewhere. See if it gets you. If you're kidnapped.
It's so funny because I actually know a gentleman who's like very much like a sort of prepper survivalist. He like was a first responder, all these other things. And his perspective, and this is somebody with 7 daughters, he would definitely advocate fight for your life. If they're gonna kill you anyway, let them kill you where they found you, so then you're not like tortured. Because you never know. You could have somebody that's like, I don't know, receptive to your wiles and like you trying to, get maybe less, I don't know, just be subjected to less from them.
This is the why
People that are really sick.
you have to know, as a fawn, you have to, no, because then you won't be a fawn. Like, as a fawn personality, whatever, you have to assess the situation because part of it is trying to appease.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm doing my fawn thing and I'm like, this is crazy, I'm going to just let it go to your point.
Mm-hmm.
But if I do my fawn thing, I'm like, I think it's something here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go for it. Cause you see the what's his name? The dude that was eating people.
What?
No, it was on Netflix, a whole reenactment joint.
Oh,
Jeffrey
God.
Dahmer, yeah.
Oh, I did not watch
Cause
it.
it was too much.
Yeah.
But basically, it was a couple people. It was a one dude in there that got away because he was kind of. Now, if he was going to get killed, regardless, even if he was going to the heart of him, because the dude was too far gone. He done killed 20 people at this point. But he got away because he was doing the fawn, and then he fought.
Yeah.
Like, you can do combo stuff. Like, I feel like what that person said makes sense in certain situations. Or if you're a person that's not good at the fawn, then, like, just give it up. Like, we all have our strengths and our weaknesses, and that's unfortunate. But if you're somebody who can do a little bit of the fawn just to get them to slow shit down a little, like, just to get them to have to even answer a question or think about something, then you can, like the dude and that had got away, like, was able to grab something and then stab him and then he ran away. And then that's how he ended up getting caught and going to jail and stuff, was through that. A fawn did fight.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How about we, like, make the threat sort of abstract? Like, let's imagine it isn't a person, right? And let's imagine that, like, the threat is just stress. Just stress, right? So how could that, like, be used in a constructive way within someone's life if their proclivity is to fawn? If you want to appease,
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
it's not good.
That's bad. Yeah, because look, if the stress is,
If it's just stress, like something stressing you out. Because in my mind, I was thinking, like, okay, I think if you're fighting stress, that could be positive, right? Like let's say, I don't know, you have a project, right? And like that's what's really stressing you out, and like your inclination is to fight. Maybe maybe you're like a little bit of a workaholic and you're gonna fight till it's done, so you've met the deadline. It's not something you have to worry about. Somebody else could run away from it. They're like, I think flighting in that case would be avoiding, right? Freezing would be like not attending to it. Yeah, not attending to it as well. And then fawn could be making like acknowledging that you are stressed, but making things easier for yourself, you know, to like appease the fact that you're stressed out about something.
See, the way I thought about it was like thinking about work.
Yeah.
And if you're stressed out about getting fired, trying to appease the people at your job.
Okay. That's probably more like practical, yeah.
And I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Like, that's how I'm gonna do it. Because I was like, nah, this is too much. Because people be having a fawn at work.
That's true.
You got a fawn, you gotta be like, oh, this boss, they like it when you dot your I's and cross your T's, but this one only wants you to cross your T's but not dot your I's. That's fawning. Because now I'm stressed, and the way I'm reacting to the stress is fawn. I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much. It's too much. That shit gave me fibroids. I literally went to the doctor, and then now that I done quit the job, one of them went away.
That reminds me of somebody, the actress from My Wife and Kids, one who plays like Gina and Martin. Tisha Campbell.
Yep, Tisha Campbell. She did mine.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So she had, I don't remember if it was fibroids, but she had some really terrible condition that was like, I don't know, at an advanced stage, and after she got divorced, it went away. Your body really is intelligent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your body, and going back to like, it's not hippies that just do this stuff, or it's not just white people shit. This is shit that we all should be doing.
Absolutely. Or awareness that we should cultivate.
Cultivate. And it don't got to be the same way. If you don't want to get a yoga mat out, that's fine. You don't got to do it like that, but you won't have to figure out something.
You can sit on the courts like that.
Yeah.
I did.
You have to figure some shit out, because this shit will kill you. Like, when you get rid of that stressor, the types of conditions that slowly will go away. Or, like, I didn't know that about her, but that's crazy. But I remember she had gained all that weight and stuff. Like, she looked like a complete different.
She definitely looks like, I feel like, more rejuvenated. She's like performing again. I wish I remember the name of the condition. I think it's sort of immaterial to the point.
Like,
but it was something bad. I don't think it was that, because that doesn't really sound good. But wherever it is, she got rid of it.
Because you ain't going to die from fibroids, most likely.
Yeah.
So it had to be something else. Because you said it was like
sarcoidosis.
Sarcoidosis.
Shit, sarcoidosis. That shit sounds serious.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but it
That'll
sounds.
kill you. That can kill you.
Damn. That sound like it. You know how some stuff you hear and you like, oh, that's
got teeth.
I don't know what that is, but that sound like you need to get that taken care of. That's what that sound like. Yeah. So I've learned something new. A lot of things new, but the fawn is the coolest new thing I feel like I learned. The mental health stuff. Take care of yourself. It's not white people shit to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
We won't even go into the whole therapy thing. I know I did have some questions about that, but
you can talk about it.
I feel like we should let that shit simmer that we just went through. And once people take a bite of that and they're like, I don't have to be white to take care of myself, then maybe we like give them just a little bit more.
Yeah. I love that.
Do you want to shout anything out? Like, I know you're going to send some resources to me that I'll be sharing with all you lovely beautiful people. But isn't it something you're promoting with yourself? Is it fundraising you're doing?
Oh, wow. I'm working on some fundraising, but I don't think it's related to this point. It's related to like getting resources for like low income students.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'll be in August. I'm like the organization I'm like they're running a fundraiser called Fun Them Kids.
Run them kids.
But as far as like mental health, we didn't like traverse that too much. But the organization that I have been a part of since 2019 is the Live Well Foundation. So you can find them at livewellfoundation.org, and you will find free mental health support groups, like I think 5 out of 7 days of the week. And they're dedicated to different topics, like some are for recovery, some are for seniors. And yeah, some are just for any and all peers, adults, of course, that are open to, sharing and being themselves and receiving some valuable skills in a group where, there's no judgment, there's no no cost that's prohibitive of like being able to join. And yeah, it's really impactful. I know because I joined before as like somebody who was part of groups before I ultimately led them.
Period. Oh, that was a good shout out. Okay, everybody at home, clap your fucking hands for Samira.